Never date these types of women. If she shows any of these signs, you might want to run the other way. Again, I don't like making judgments. I also say to all my male clients that if there's an issue, do address it and see whether or not there's something that you misinterpreted. However, these are characteristics and signs that you need to look out for on the extreme ends of the spectrum and the extreme sides of the character spectrum and personality spectrum that show that you might not want to be spending too much of your investment, time, effort, and money into this type of woman. Please understand that yes, you want to address it. However, and also huge red flag that she has traumas and triggers she hasn't dealt with. Number 2, she might have traumas and triggers that she hasn't dealt with, which kind of stems into her attachment style. And I want to go over attachment style very briefly because a lot of men have no clue what this is. There's 4 attachment styles. Attachment style specifically is the tendency of closeness, the level of closeness that a person wants within a relationship. And what that looks like is usually the level of closeness that a person wants with a very prominent and important person. And in childhood, that was with the mother. So you cannot compare like your friends to you having a secure attachment style. It's usually with someone who is very important in your life. And when it comes to motherly behavior in a woman, that could be overly motherly, overly controlling. Again, telling you when to wake up, how to read a book, how to open a chip bag, how to flip the steak. She seems to nitpick at everything that you do out of care, right? It could be little jabs and you're just kind of, every single time it happens, you're kind of just wondering. This can show that she was not brought up in she might have daddy or mommy issues is what I mean. One or the other. Her past is still a big problem in her current life, and you also might need to start wondering how you should start addressing it, and if you want to address it if it's in the early stages. Number 2 is a big one. Her resentment towards you turns into punishment. When it comes to relationships, the earlier stages are usually the most fun, fulfilling, most vulnerable, most free. You guys show every great behavior that you've ever wanted. But as attachment grows, as the both of you start investing more time, effort, and money into each other, when you start truly growing an attachment towards each other, that brings the more opportunities for conflict to happen, because the little things that once didn't matter, that would have not caused issues, are starting to cause issues. And what that means is when someone is caring about you more now, when you both care about each other much more, it is easier to have little things come up that blow up, which then causes conflict. And that's why conflict usually shows up at the 4th or 5th month of a relationship. And why a lot of people say, and I completely practice this as well, conflict resolution or negotiation skills within a relationship or between 2 couples really can determine the relationship health. Because if conflicts are just swept under the rug, or she won, or she has to win, or you have to win, right? Or you guys are both trying to nitpick at the things that you guys say to prove that you are right. That brings conflict. That doesn't bring unity, right? That doesn't bring the accountability that you each have to take. What does this mean? Resentment builds in the both of you. Every single time a person, you or her, doesn't feel listened and heard or even lost, right? This can build a whole bunch of resentment, which is not an issue. It can be addressed. It can always be worked through. I work with a ton of clients who work through resentment. But the number one issue in a woman that I see most problematic when there's resentment held within the relationship is if she purposely does things to hurt you and punish you. Are there scenarios, experiences, or occurrences in which your wife or girlfriend has used your triggers or weaponized your triggers or done things specifically that she knows? And what that looks like is done things that she specifically knows you will not like or you will be hurt by in order to get you back. And what does that mean is she's using her resentment and becoming vengeful towards you. And this is a huge problematic character in a woman. However, I don't want you to make it sound like you're perfect either, right? Have you done that as well? And sometimes you are attracted to people that you're similar with. So you have to ask yourself, have you done that as well? Have you weaponized her triggers in order to get her back? However, this is about her, this video. And so if a woman in the moments of resentment, in moments of stress, in moments of loss, will she do things in order to get you back? Huge problematic sign, problematic in your friends, if that's a character, if your friends become jealous and try to hurt you. Huge problem in business, right? You never want to get into business with someone that will try to hurt you. You guys are on a team. And so will she use resentment in order to think about and scheme about her next event to hurt you back in order for her to win? And the very last one is if she's too Miss-Independent. This is a huge problem, and as I said in the beginning of the video, each character flaw that I talk about that is problematic in women has a spectrum. Some of you might be really turned on by an independent woman, a woman who makes it for themselves, who's gone from 0 to 100 all on her own. It takes a ton of hard work, dedication, and more topics to even talk about. She's intelligent. However, if she is too Miss-Independent, in which she has no idea about how to make you feel appreciative for the things that you've done for her, and that everything that is going well is all because of her, that is a huge problem in a relationship. Early signs can be in relationships like, I never needed a man to do anything for me. I am all on my own. If we're together, everything is 50-50. I don't need you to do anything for me. I don't need a lot of attention. That is a very problematic sign. But obviously, again, I'm making judgments right now. Please, if those signs show up in the beginning, don't form your accusations right away. Do address it. Ask for further explanations. However, if she's still too independent, if you're in a long-term relationship or even married and she's still too independent, it just shows that she has no ability, or she hasn't worked on her ability to show you appreciation, to show you that she can be in a healthy relationship, that everything you've done hasn't benefited her or made her become a better woman. And that, I would say, number one, is a huge problem in modern women, Western women specifically, career-driven Western women specifically. And you have to ask yourself, why did you choose, or why are you attracted to this type of woman to begin with? And number two is, how then can you work on the relationship and have a good conversation with her to ask her why she feels these certain ways. Why does she react to situations like that? These are three really big flags in a woman. I would say never date these type of women early on in the relationship. If you're just dating, you met a woman like this that hit all three of these points. She's being too motherly, or she's trying to be your mother too much. Her resentment towards you turned into punishment. If you canceled on her and you had to do something, she cancels on you, and next time it becomes a war zone. If you're seeing these early signs. And the last one is, if she's too independent, she shows you that she don't need no man, please run the other way. You really don't need to be dealing with women like that. However, right, you can also keep at your own pace, but just ask yourself, are these women that you want to deal with? Why don't you just find a woman that, you know, comes with the character, the personality traits, the behaviors, the thoughts, the values, the identity, the feminism, the care, the closeness, the attachment style that you enjoy as a man? And if you are not attracted to what you say you're attracted to, why? If the woman right now that you're talking to, in a relationship with, seeing, situationship, even married to, does not reflect what you say you want in a woman, then why are you in this position to begin with? This is where I start sessions in my program with a ton of my clients, is I need you guys to understand that relationships and choosing that partner to spend the rest of your life with is probably the biggest decision that you'll ever get. Even if you're divorced right now and you're choosing your next woman, probably also one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your life. What as a man can you do right now today to start reflecting on why you've fallen for women who showed you these 3 behaviors is probably the first step to truly become a changed person and start having healthier relationships. So those of you who have made it to the end of this video, thank you for spending time with me. Again, it's Men's Mental Health Institute. I'm Christy, registered psychotherapist. Do me a favor, I've just started recording these videos. Comment down below on what you want to hear next, what you want me to talk about. Give this video a like and subscribe, and I am really looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye guys. Hi everyone, if you enjoyed our content, don't forget to follow us on TikTok and IG where we post daily, and YouTube where we post weekly.